Good evening, Ashok sir. Welcome, sir.
Hi, good evening.
Welcome, sir. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Welcome.
thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. So, sir, let us start.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure. So, thank you very much.
Please
Shreya, over to you. Yeah, Shreya and Harsh, over to you.
There can be no equal justice, where the kind of trial a man gets depends on the amount he has. That's where the importance of legal aid comes in. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the virtual inauguration of the fourth edition of the short term course on legal aid and allied laws. I'm Shreya, student co convenor of the Center for Legal Aid Program, CLAP, NUSRL Ranchi, and alongside me is Mr. Harsh Anmol, student convener of CLAP. We are your hosts for this evening. I welcome all the participants, guests, faculties, as well as the esteemed members of the organizing committee. Professor Dr. Ashok R. Patil, Vice Chancellor, NUSRL Ranchi, Dr. Kalpesh Kumar L. Gupta, Founder ProBono India, Dr. Kaushik Bagchi, Faculty Convener CLAP, Dr. Shweta Mohan, Faculty Co-Convener CLAP, and Pooja Lakshmi, Student Coordinator of Pro Bono India. We are delighted to have each one of you join for this significant event as we embark on a journey to explore and discuss the crucial role of legal aid. And we look forward to a fruitful and engaging experience for everyone involved. Now, I would invite Mr. Hirsch to take over.
To begin this enlightening evening, let's understand the essence of this course from someone whose dedication to legal aid is truly commendable. Please join us in welcoming the founder of Pro Bono India, Dr. Kalpesh Kumar Gupta. So, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Harsh and Shreya, and then all the participants. So, respected Ashok Patil, sir, my friend, colleague, Dr. Kaushik Bakshi, Dr. Sweta Mohan, and then the student coordinator, Harsh, Pooja Lakshmi, and Shreya, and all the participants. First, I'd like to thank Ashok Patil sir for joining today's inauguration sessions, and then all the participants for joining this fourth edition of a course on legal aid and allied laws. So let me tell you, like this journey started 3 years back. We should thankful to Corona that we learned a lot of things, right? Online classes and other things that we learned in last few years. So we have been conducting various activities and then the Pro Bono India banner, and then meanwhile I thought of I talked to my friends and I shared this idea. Let us start something this in course related to legal aid. It is this kind of course is not available at any institutions. So we thought and we planned sessions like the introduction to that legal aid, the public interest litigation, consumer protection, and then ADR, the human rights and the rights of the victim. So these are the things where we decided let us plan and divide in 5 modules, and then having uh, made to 5 to 6 sessions. So in last uh, like 3 edition, we have seen like almost 30 plus hours of sessions, and then 25 resource person it was there, and we have received overwhelming response. And so far, I would say altogether we have received like in first, second, and third and fourth 6,000 plus registration. The student there, I know 70% are their students, and the 30% are faculty members, and then professional advocates. Some are from the non-law background also, and then we have seen like student participant for 17 years, I would say. Like I remember last edition, maybe in this edition also I have to scrutinize again. So student like just passed 12th, and they also joined this course. So plus 60 65 years of age, and then we have received the very good responses under this. And then some of them practically they have implemented this thing in life. This is not a should not considered. I request participant, please do not consider as a like certificates and adding a lot of value to your CV. Obviously uh, definitely it will add value like from your perspective, but this is a like practical thing that I'm sure like you it won't be taught or being taught in your law schools or any other field. So most of the thing you'll be learning, and the resource person will be sharing their experience, practical, most of like practical experience related to the assigned topics. I hope you will try to learn a lot of things and get the maximum benefit out of this course, and have some practical, the exposure or implementation of whatever you learned in whatever you'll be learning in this, 2 weeks journey. So once again, I am thankful to Ashok Patil and all the participants for joining today's inauguration session, and I hope happy learning to all of you. Thank you very much. Over to you, Shreya.
Now to share his insights, and I would like to invite now to share his insights and set the tone for this enlightening course. We have with us a distinguished personality. Please join us in welcoming our chief host for the evening, Professor Dr. Ashok Patil, the Vice Chancellor of NUSRL Ranchi. Welcome, sir.
Hello. Is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Please begin.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, last 1 minute it was disconnected. So may I start now?
Sir, please.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Kalpesh, and the student coordinator, very active coordinators, Mr. Harsh, Shreya from NUSRL, and Dr. Kaushik Bagchi, who were involved last 1 month in arranging all these things. And as you know, this particular fourth edition short-term course on legal aid and allied laws, uh, this is a joint program from Center for Legal Aid Program, ProBono India, Department of Justice, Government of India, and National University of Study and Research in Law, Ranchi. So altogether, we are organizing this particular short-term course on legal aid and allied laws. Already you know that the Constitution of India, Article 39A, which gives free legal aid to poor and weaker sections of the society. So in that regard, everybody have gone through Section 12 of Legal Services Authorities Act, which gives you list of people who should get the free legal aid. Section 12, Clause A to Clause H, they are giving the categories who can avail free legal aid from this particular the Legal Service Authorities Act. And this particular course, I'm observing, even I observed last three courses, and majority of the very new areas are covered, as Kalpesh mentioned. It covers legal aid, clinical legal education, PIL, role of technology in access to justice, drafting skills, Right to Information Act, ADR, consumer protection, rights of victims, mental health law, human rights, like that, many more new areas are covered during this particular course. And another very important thing is nowadays everybody is busy. Students are busy in attending classes during the daytime, and faculties are also busy in taking classes and other administrative work. So this particular course, that's why I kept in the evening. So everybody, they go to their home or hostel, and after freshing themselves comfortably, they can attend this particular the excellent resource persons presentations. So that's why it is getting day by day, year to year, the lot of attraction, lot of people are attending this type of program. And literally, I observed in last looking into, if you know already, the resource persons are excellent, and they are not teaching what is there in the book or commentary or the other things. They are teaching here, they are explaining, or they are presenting their personal experience. in implementing those welfare legislations which should reach to the grassroots level. So clinical method which they are using to reach the grassroots level, that is the excellent touch by all the resource persons in this particular short-term course. So that is very, very important. Nowadays, the students are also cannot concentrate more during 1 hour to attract their attention. So these types of clinical methods are excellent and attractive even to the students. So that's why always our founder director, Professor Madhav Menon, used to tell always we should have a clinical method of teaching in the classroom so that students also get that particular attraction or taste or uh, hungry of learning these types of things. So that's why we should, as a faculty also, we should adopt these clinical methods, whichever subject we are teaching, connect to the society so that everybody will feel that, sense that, and there is no need for students to by heart that particular thing uh, by their experience. Automatically they know it, and even in examination, their answers will be different from others because they themselves experience those types of services. So in that regard, this is an excellent course. And another thing, always uh, even our Prime Minister Modi always said we should not produce the paper degrees. We should produce skilled based degrees. Means whosoever passed out in, especially in this, we can take example LLB. So after 3 years or 5 years LLB, the student should not get only paper degree. He should get all the professional skills one must have. Once he enters the court, he should have a drafting skills. He should have a the argument skills. He should know the grassroots level problems so that he can apply law and in the context and interpret the sections properly and convince the judge and handle the opposite party advocate also. So these skills we should learn during this 5 years or 3 years course. That's why skill based education is very, very important. And once the students are involved in these types of activities, even to help the society through legal aid and many schemes, government schemes are there, but the village people, they don't know those the welfare schemes. That's why they have not applied, and that's why they are not getting those facilities. This is a very, very important legal aid clinic, which is in every law school or law college. It's a window connecting to the society. It should be very, very active. If it is active and automatically the students involved in these types of activities and in class they study theory and by visiting these the society, they will connect that particular theory to the practice, and they understand the subject in better way. And also recently I come across there is a competition is happening from the Professor Mallar Legal Aid competition. I have seen students actively involved uh, to achieve the object of this, particularly Section 12, whosoever is listed. So they are reaching to those people, helping them, and they are understanding the grassroots level problems and needy people. So in that regard, this particular course helps them a lot, and I'm sure this whosoever participating in this particular course, you will be benefited additional to what you are studying in the classes. And recently, even our Chief Justice of India Justice Chandrachud, also always he is stressing on this legal aid and the students' involvement, law school involvement is very important. And as an institution, as a student, as a faculty, how best we can help the society uh, to provide the legal aid, legal awareness, and the government schemes should reach to the needy people. So I'm confident that whosoever is attending this particular short-term course, you will be benefited after completion of this course, and you will feel uh, the different way of thinking of the same subject which you have already studied. Your thinking angle will be different once you heard the resource persons first-hand experience in the field. Once they share that, you hear that and apply in your day-to-day uh, life, automatically things will change. So with these words, uh, thank you very much, Kalpesh, for providing me this opportunity, and all the best for the all the participants. And end of this particular short-term course, I'm sure everybody will be benefited. You will enjoy the knowledge which you are uh, earning or learning from this particular the short-term course. With this, I conclude. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. We welcome B.S. Patil, sir, for joining. So thank you very much. Over to you, Shreya.
Thank you, VC sir, for your insightful speech. This has really set the tone for the sessions ahead. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Kaushik Bagchi, the faculty convener for Center for Legal Aid Program, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes,
Hello.
sir. Please proceed.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
So first of all, on behalf of NUSRL family, we welcome all the participants. So we are totally aware that not only the law students have joined this program, but the persons who are from other sectors, for example, corporate, for example, even armed forces, people have joined this particular course. So when Kalpesh brought this idea first to me, I was very much enthusiastic about this idea, and I am thankful first of all to Dr. Ashok Patil sir, Vice Chancellor sir, for accepting the proposal and giving us a chance to carry forward this particular program ahead. I also thank Kalpesh for bringing out such a scheme where the legal aid has been taken into consideration through various angles, as VC sir was talking about, that in this program we will not only dealing with the legal aid, but we will be dealing with legal aid in various plethoras of law, for example, consumer protection, ADR, mental health, etc., etc. I also thank my student conveners and all the members of CLAP who have given their everything for this smooth conduction of this particular program. I also thank Ravi and Mandalji, who out of the screen have helped us in providing us the internet access and the WebEx meetings, long meetings which we have been conducting from last 2-3 days. And I again thank all the participants. Hope all the participants will obviously enjoy this program and take it not as a course, but it will be an encouraging and enthusiastic platform for each and everyone to discuss the various aspects of legal aid. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Alpesh, so can we begin with the session?
So thank you very much, Ashok, sir, for joining, and all the faculty members. So we'll be starting in Patil, sir has joined. Patil, sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Kalpesh.
Yes, sir. We'll be starting in a couple of minutes. Sure.
Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah,
Huh?
okay,
I'll
sir.
wait.
Thank you, sir. Welcome, sir.
And
Thank you very
good
much,
evening,
for the time.
Professor Ashok. You have to unmute, Ashok.
Hi, Patil. Thank you very much for accepting the invitation.
Yeah, thank you.
Sir, party service always opening basement in all programs.
Yes. So we'll meet in another 2 minutes.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
We can start, Kalpesh.
Okay, sure. So,
Yeah.
yes. Shreya, Harsh, over to you. We can start.
Yes, sir. So, first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Patil for joining in. Introducing Dr. Patil, he is presently an associate professor at VM Salgaocar College of Law and has been a part of the institution for the last 2 decades. He's also faculty for the LLM program of Research Center of the college. He's the director of Moot Court Society and is on the editorial board of Salgaocar Law Review. He is also the member of the steering committee of the Child Rights Clinic of the college. He has been the director of the Legal Aid Society and has been involved with the systematization of the whole scheme of the legal aid in the institution. He has also been instrumental in organizing various human rights activities in the college, including seminars, certificate courses, national level moot court competitions, media competitions, etc. Over to you, sir. Please begin.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for keeping it brief. And so let me share my slide and then we'll continue with the discussion. So is the slide is visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. So thank you very much. Thank you, Kalpesh, and thank you very much to the Vice Chancellor, Ashok Patil, a good friend of mine. Actually, now before I start today's session, as Kalpesh was mentioning, I am an opening batsman for this short-term course. Especially put me under such a difficult situation so that I have to live up to the expectations of all the participants. So now I request to all the participants one precondition. and it's more of a request than a precondition. Wherever you are and in whatever condition you are, please keep your busy schedule aside and pick up a paper and pen. So let's start with a small exercise. Okay, keep your paper and pen with you, and it's basically a self appraisal. If you're interested, you can share your opinions with me in the class or maybe even after the session, because I'm going to share my email. You can always write to me and we can always have one-to-one interaction on those opinions. But it is more of a self-appraisal, and today's topic is Law Society and Introduction to Legal Aid. And the broad theme of this short-term course is legal aid and allied laws. So there are two sessions which myself and my colleague are engaging. Professor M.R.K. Prasad is going to engage after 2 days. Basically, why Kalpesh wanted us to interact with you is all to showcase our experience with this legal aid. So I'm not going to talk about the law relating to legal aid, or I'm not going to discuss about constitutionality. I'm not going to even discuss about whose duty it is to provide legal aid to the needy persons. I'm basically talking about what we can do as teachers of a law institution, as a creator of what should I say, skilled labor, professionals who are going to cater to the needs of the society. So what we can do, our bit as a part of the education system in India. So when I talk about legal aid, I cannot skip or I cannot miss making the mention of these two stalwarts. One is Professor Madhav Menon, the other one is Professor Mallar. Madhav Menon is the person who brought two institutions, national and internationally recognized institutions, into action. He is the man who established not one but two institutions. Professor Mallar is a teacher to the core, and he is a teacher who even used to forget about his ill health when he is pushed onto the stage. Why I'm making mention of these two persons is because they are the people who always thought that as a teacher, we can do beyond the classroom teaching and we can progress. We can be the source of progress. Okay, my voice is not audible is what somebody is mentioning. Is it others are fine?
Yes, sir, it's audible.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this is that's what I proceed with. Thank you, Vedika and others. So what I'm trying to tell here is that my legal aid experience and my idea of legal aid has been built around these two personalities. When I joined the Salgaoncars, already the legal aid was in its nascent stage. It was growing. It was catching the imagination of everyone. But I could catch its imagination when I met Professor Madhav Menon. He had come to visit us, and the third photograph in the picture is in the slide is of an exhibition that we organized when Professor visited our college. Here we are showcasing the legal aid work that we were doing. Professor Madhav Menon was so impressed with that. I'm talking about a teacher who visited our institution after completing a session or what should I say, a course in another city. And for the course that he had organized, he was remunerated. He had some bulk money in his pocket. He came on the way back home. We asked him to visit our college. He came, he visited our college, and he was so impressed with us that he gave the whole bulk money that he was carrying to our principal. And he said, "This is my contribution, and this experiment should never stop." So the man who had earned a little bit as a teacher, he did not carry it home. He just gave it for furtherance of an experiment that he saw with his own eyes, and he saw potential in that activity. So that is why I always make a mention of these two personalities when I take up the discussion on this. Just a brief introduction about Salgaocar College of Law. We operate from Goa, and Goa is a small state with a 15 lakh population. I think the population of the state is less than many of the cities where you belong to. And the star that you can see, they all are the legal aid cells that we are operating all over Goa. And the legal aid cells, the star that you can see as near the coastal belt, there is I, A, E, X. These are all the villages on the beaches. And these are all the villages which attract national and international tourists. But if you come to the other interior part of it, that is D, S, W. Now these are all deep interior villages of state of Goa, which is hardly known to any person. The W, I hope you can see on your screen. It's a village called Walpoi, and then there is a village nearby. This village is established. The legal aid cell is established deep inside the forest area, which is a biodiversity sensitive area. And here you find highest density of snakes after Amazon. So this is recognized as a highly biodiversity sensitive areas of the world, and it is recognized by the WWE. So there also we operate as a legal aid cell. Why we operate in a diverse part of these areas is because our students travel from all these areas to study in our college. So we request our students to start legal aid cell in their own village, so that acceptance is there, so that they can, being a part of the same village, there's a faith and the trust factor exists, and all this helps in coming out and seeking help from us. That itself is a great task, because as I have experienced in this legal aid activity, trust factor is a major issue. They feel, the general public feel, that what kind of service we may get. Is it a service of a good quality? Now, there, what we have to work out is we have to create a kind of a trust factor. So from this legal aid cells, we moved on to specialized clinics. Now, these are the clinics which are subject specific. The legal aid cells, which I showed you, these are all spread all over Goa. These are not subject specific, but they are geographically specific. Any problem in the village, they handle it. It may be a problem of CRZ violation in the coastal zones, or it may be a violation of some other laws in interior parts of Goa. We deal with those things. But these clinics are subject specific. One deals with consumer, other one child rights. Then we have a GST clinic. Now we have CROP, Center for Rights of Older Persons. Then we have Center for Disability Rights. Now, these are subject specific clinics. These are the outgrowth of our experience as legal aid cells. Now, why I asked you to keep your pen and paper ready is because there are 3 pre-session questions. Okay, I will give 1 minute and you write down an answer for these questions. Okay, and get ready for writing answer for this. Just apply your mind and answer the first question. What is the purpose of education? And when I say here, particularly the legal education. Just put your mind, write your answer for it. Is it a difficult question? Then we can discuss it out. You can write for yourself, okay? You need not tell me, because the moment somebody types an answer, the mind of others gets stuck with that answer. So they fail to think beyond that answer. So that's why I'm asking you to write on your own paper. betterment of society. That's what I was telling. Purpose of legal education. Good. Quite interesting answers. But anyway, you keep these answers to for yourself. So now there are quite a few of them, or rather quite a lot. Okay, so unmuting is not permitted here. Okay, that's fine.
Participants can raise their hand and we can allow them to unmute.
Yeah. Param Harsh is asking about sharing of the slides. Anyway, definitely I will share with our Kalpesh. Kalpesh will definitely. I think he must have already made a group, no? WhatsApp group. So he'll share in that group. Yes. Now let us move on to the second question. I hope all of you have written an answer for this. Okay, now the second question is this. Now, looking into the purpose that you have defined now, whether if you look at education with that purpose, whether the legal aid has any place in the legal education. I think here we can go for yes or no answer, but you can also explain. I think I'm getting yes in the majority. Now let me take you to third question and the last question. With this, our pre-session exercise will be over. Then we'll come to mid-session exercise and then end session exercise. Okay. Now the third question. Whether the purpose of education has changed in 21st century or is it remained same? If it has changed, what is the difference? Now, you should look into the purpose of education. See, Dundapa, when you say education has become more commercial, that is what the management is doing, not the teachers. Teachers still, we are looking into education from a particular purpose. But in the 21st century, what kind of difference that has come up that has led to change in the style of education? Let me give you a small incident to you. We were undergoing a kind of a discussion, roundtable discussion. There, one question came up saying that now students don't know simple questions, simple answers. Now, if you ask the place where highest rainfall falls in India, they don't know. If you ask a question, that which is the driest state in in India, they don't know. They don't know which is the biggest state in India. They don't know. They absolutely have no knowledge. So then my answer to that question here is why they should know. During my time, we should know all these answers because the information was availability was sparse, very rare. I agree with this Sanjay. Sanjay is saying now it is more of skill-based education. That's exactly what I'm trying to tell you, that now information is irrelevant. You cannot stand on the stage and give information. One day I was telling about a case and I forgot the name of the case. And student Googled and gave me the name of the case. So how do you now change your role as a teacher when nobody wants information, because information is available everywhere? Now, question here is, why should I know by heart the place where the highest rainfall exists? Why can't the information be available on my fingertips? Is it not enough? Why it should be available in my mind? Earlier, yes, it was necessary because I had to hit the library, find the search the book, open the book, find an answer. So getting one answer would have involved half an hour. But now, in half an hour time, I can get 60 answers. So I can keep mind clear. See, same problem arose when first time the book was invented. Everybody felt that if the knowledge is placed Kilimanjaro in the world, correct? So you Googled it or you knew it? That's a question. Okay, you were aware about that. Okay, let me take you to the next slide. So now these are the pre-session questions. Why I asked, yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Exactly. I agree with you. All the informations are not authentic. So that's why the author of a book called Sapien has written the first line in his book: in the world that is deluged with information, that is submerged with an information, clarity is the power. Now information or the knowledge is not the power, clarity is the power. So when you Google, you should be able to clearly bifurcate correct information from the wrong information. You should be able to find an authentic source, because there are hundreds of sources are available where again my voice is breaking. Is the instructions, Kalpesh, is it fine? Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So some people are having a slightly problem with the connectivity. Yes, thank you. So this is what I'm trying to tell here is a deluge, in a deluge of information. When there is people are submerged in the information, clarity is the power. So therefore, you need to work and distinguish between them. So what is the role of the teacher? To bring the clarity among the students. Purpose of education, does it change or not? That's why I asked this question. How we look at lawyer? Now, these are some of the ways in which we look at the lawyer. This is again a slide which I prepared based upon one of the session that I had. When you look at the red one, they are all negative opinion on the lawyer. Green one is the positive opinion. Black is more of a balanced one. But if you look at the red, seems to be dominating it. Now, why do we have such a bad opinion about the lawyer in the society? And okay, why many have different opinions of that? Can we change the opinion of the society about the lawyer as a law school? That's where the legal aid steps in. So legal aid is the first step to make the lawyer sensitive about the society. See, we are not, see what we can teach in the classroom and what they can learn from the field. There's a huge difference, and that's how we need to work on. So I had mentioned this in one of the sessions that science college build huge laboratories, engineering college build huge laboratories, and in the lab they conduct the tests, practicals, everything they do. For law college, society is our laboratory. We have to enter the society and conduct the practical tests. So as long as we confine ourselves to the classroom and think that our role as a teacher is done by engaging 1 hour lecture, that is the disservice that we are doing to the student community. We should push them into the society. Let us not teach them what is law, but let us teach them one important skill: talking to a stranger. Don't you think that's a greatest skill someone can possess? That they are sitting here, somebody comes, 2 minutes, they build a good rapport, they do the ice breaking session, start talking to that person, collect his information, collect his personal information, and then, if possible, provide the solution, or else they can come to us. We can always provide them the solution, or there are lawyers who can provide them solution. But this skill of talking to a stranger, it's a very important skill that can be learned only in the legal aid. There are no other activities. Moot court, ADR, negotiation competition, debate, talk 100 things, but nothing can bring in this one-to-one conversation. And especially, you're talking to the someone who is not of your community. See, striking a communication or striking a discussion with a co-teacher is very easy. With a student is very easy. With a lawyer is very easy. How do I going to start a conversation with an illiterate? That's where your idea comes. Now, when we talk about law colleges and why legal aid clinics, so these questions, see, again, I feel that when it comes to the conducting of the programs to the whole society, again, I'll tell you, the failure is a stepping stone for the success. So even if you fail with one program, we can always work out with another one. Now, this is what I feel as a law college, as a law school, we should adopt or we should create. One, intellectually challenging, professionally competent, and socially relevant lawyers. These are the three tasks. And this is the statement of Professor Madhav. This is not my statement. So when we asked him, what is the role of a law school? He's saying, we create intellectually challenging lawyer who should intellectually so competent that he should be able to deal with any kind of problem. Professionally competent. He should amass all the skills required for the profession. So when I say profession, I'm not talking about the lawyers. So I'm talking about the profession, which includes the corporate lawyering, lawyer's profession, judge profession, and even it includes politics as a profession. Competent, and then the last one is socially relevant. So, an intelligent person without purpose is a waste for the society. So he should have the purpose for the society. So how do you achieve these three things? By imparting following these three things: knowledge, skill, and ethical value. And even though we had what is the purpose of legal education, you all wrote down many things about the critical thinking. You also mentioned about social sensitivity, all these things. But how to do that? I am very happy that you can always think of those things. But understanding is the first step. Problem here is we have taken the first step, but we are refusing to take the next step. So knowledge of law, that's where we stop. We give them a lecture, we give them information about the law, there ends our role as a teacher. How you are going to impart critical thinking, how you are going to impart social sensitivity, how you are going to impart skills. So that is why legal aid helps in achieving these objectives. So the skills that are required for an ordinary lawyer, that is, first, when the client walks in, you should have a client interviewing skill. And that's where I was talking about the person's ability to talk to an unknown person, build a rapport, collect information, make the other person comfortable, and make him understand that they are facing, or they are with a competent person. So once the client interview is done, where you collect the information, then we move on to the next one. And next one is counseling. Counseling is how and what that needs to be done to satisfy his legal problem. Identifying the goals, what the client wants, and how the requirement of the client can be achieved. That is where you have to conduct research, generating alternatives, generating options, conducting research and finding out the law, which in whose favor the law is, theory formation, drafting, presentation, and lastly, arguments. So there are a bunch of skills which students should learn. And all this bunch of skills, when we talk of imparting this bunch, each activity that we do, client counseling, only 1 or 2 it is covered. Moot court, 3 it covers. But all the places, all the time, students know that what they are doing is a simulation. Means they don't take it seriously. But when you push them into legal aid, there is no chance of taking it light, because there is a real client with a real problem and expecting a real solution. So that's why you need to be very, very careful when you push a student to do a legal aid. So how do you achieve all these skills is the legal aid, because this is the reason, in the words of Benjamin Franklin, tell me I forget, teach me I remember, and involve me I learn. And in legal aid is one way of involving the students. So why do we involve the students? Theory formation. So when you look into the theory formation, here what happens here is when the client narrates the problem, the client narrates the problem in his own words, and he jumbles up all the facts. It doesn't come in a chronological order. But once you note down all the facts, then now it's time to classify the problem. Is it a crime or a civil wrong? If it's a civil wrong, whether it falls under consumer or it falls outside the consumer. If it's a consumer, whether the client can be a consumer or not a consumer. All these are a part of theory formation exercise, because you have to provide a nomenclature for the problem narrated to you. It is a problem of negligence. It is a problem of absolute liability. It is a problem of part of a declaratory suit. Now that naming the problem is a part of theory formation process. And I think this is a good way of proceeding. You can raise the questions whenever the problem comes, whenever the doubt comes, rather than waiting for the question answer sessions. So why and when you involve the law students in the legal aid, what we achieve? Now these are I have listed, which is the benefits given to the state. So state becomes a direct beneficiary, and it is nothing wrong if you ask some benefits from the state to run the legal aid activity. And there are schemes available with the state where they can fund the legal aid activities of the college. So law students, sheer number and the age and the energy can take the legal aid to the remotest of the village of India. I'm not talking about investing huge money and reaching to the remote villages. They can reach to the remote villages on a promise of marks. Even because there is a subject, and to clear the subject, they have to do legal aid, put little bit of effort, and the energy of the students will take it to the remotest of the village. Cost, bare minimum cost. That's what I was telling. You need not spend money. State would achieve its objectives without spending 10% of what actually they have to spend if they want to do on their own. If the state wants to do legal aid, the kind of investment they have to put in, we can do it at the 10% of that expenses, because infrastructure is ready, skilled labor is available, skilled labor is motivated, and they can do it. So therefore, it is like a gold mine is there, and it is to be tapped. And that is what is being awaiting. These are the best way to implement community education of rights. So when we go and we talk about the rights, let me give you a simple incident that happened to us. We had a prison clinic. We conduct the remission exercise. The remission exercise is we go and check whether a person, convict, is eligible for remission or not. After 14 years, August 15, January 26, the state releases the people who have spent 14 years in the jail. And we study the convicts and recommend whether they are fit or not fit for remission. So when we do that exercise, before doing this exercise, we are giving education to the prisoners. So when we were speaking about the rights of the prisoners, jailers used to come, the prison authorities used to come and tell, sir, don't explain so much. They start demanding from us. So therefore, when you give a community education of the rights, it has a lot of benefits. And there are people who are going to suffer because of this community education of rights. And the more they suffer is an example of the success of your program. So we justice, I think the jurist, he mentions it's called as justifiable sufferings. They suffer, no doubt, but it is justifiable. The next advantage of it's not Krishna here, Manjunath. It was mentioned by a jurist. You will scold me the moment I remember the name. How can I forget such a? He is a contemporary of Madhav Menon. Both were colleagues. And anybody got the name? Kalpesh, you got the name? Now, presently, he is visiting lecturer, professor in many institutions. Is of ripe age of 70. Upendra Bakshi, yes, perfect. I knew. You all are going to scold me for forgetting his name. Upendra Bakshi, Professor Upendra Bakshi had made a mention in his book, and he called it as justifiable sufferings. And we can be a cause for those justifiable sufferings. And the most important is, another important point is preventive legal service programs. We can prevent many litigations. We can prevent many problems. Why litigations happen? Because of the lack of proof, lack of documentation. If you do that, there cannot be any problems. That's where legal aid helps. See, legal aid is not to provide aid to a litigant. Legal aid can also be to prevent a litigation. So we need to enlarge the horizon of legal aid. At present, what state does? State looks at legal aid as in litigation service. So we should work outside the litigation service and provide the legal aid. So if we properly channel the law students' energy, then we can meet the demands of the modern society, all the demands of the modern society. But let me take you to the other aspect of it, the exactly opposite aspect. Now we saw the benefits of the state. Then my question here is, why should we work for the benefit of the state? That's not my job. I think some article 39A, somebody mentioned legal aid is the job of the state. It's not my job. Then why should we do it? We should do it because there are direct benefits given to the students. First, involving law colleges in the legal aid improves the reputation and the value of the legal profession. So that's what I was mentioning. You should be more worried about the reputation of the society. What we can do about it? Through legal aid, we can improve the reputation of the legal profession. There is no substitution to the learning while doing. So now that present in 21st century, there is a new coinage called DIY. That is, do it yourself. So Google it, put it, see the YouTube video and do by yourself. And legal aid is one such exercise where you learn while by doing. Then excellent way of teaching professional responsibility. So imagine a student coming to you with the documents of a villager and asking your legal advice. Now, how tense the student would be, because he's carrying the documents of a property of a villager, and he has handed over to you with a lot of faith and trust. So that's why my first instruction to my student is, don't touch the originals. If the villager comes with the original document, Xerox it, keep the Xerox copies with you, return the originals to the owner. That's the first professional responsibility I teach to the students. And professional communications. So they can't go on discussing about the problem of a client with others. So that's again another professional responsibility we can teach about. Then it's a platform where all the practical skills can be taught. I just made a mention of the list of skills which a lawyer requires. Client interview, client counseling, theory formation, research, as well as drafting, presentation, everything can be covered under legal aid. I'll tell you about presentation, drafting, presentation, and arguments. Our students of VM Salgaocar College of Law stand before Consumer Commission, argue the cases. They argue the cases in the High Court when they file their own PILs. Our students have filed 22 PILs of till date. Our students have appeared before different commissions and presented the cases of different people. We have appeared before the State Human Rights Commission and argued the cases for disability rights. We have appeared before the Commissioner of Disability Rights and argued the matter. We lobbied with the state of Goa and made sure that the rules are framed under the Disability Act 2016. So this is argumentation, lobbying, all these things. And how we are going to impart these things? Because through practical arguments. Again, one student came to me and told that I have made a mention of it. There's a slide for that. He said, sir, our students are not clearing IAS exams from Goa. You see from Bihar, UP, so many people crack IAS exams. And I said, there must be some fault with our education system. What we can do? So then he said, sir, we have libraries only in the cities. Then the students have to travel all the way to reach library and study. Why can't we have library in the villages? I said, let's check the law, what the law says. So when he conducted research, he found, to his surprise and to my surprise, there was a scheme to have a library for each panchayat. And state used to sponsor 3 lakh rupees for running the panchayat library. And nobody knew. And state was happy to divert that fund to for some other development work. So that, see, we worked on it and we started 5 panchayat libraries in Goa. And it is because one student applied his mind. And why he applied his mind is because we opened his mind to think in that line. See, he saw the problem. He was born there and studied in that village till he completed the degree. But the moment he joined the law, he did 3-year course law. The moment he joined the law, he saw the problem. Why he didn't see the problem till that date? Because we didn't made his mind open to that side. So the moment he identified the problem, he found the solution. We didn't do anything. We only told where to look, what to find, and how to find. So that's what I'm telling you. The energy of the students is unlimited. Only requirement is channelize it. So I'll skip this point. I will take you to the organization of my legal aids. So when we talk about legal aid, we can have two types of legal aid, that is on campus and off campus. On campus legal aid is very easy to establish. What you require is you designate a place, a room, minimum furnitures, one table, two chairs, and one laptop and some other stationaries. Your clinic started. But your clinic will not work until unless you start inflow of the clients. Till the otherwise, it is to show that you have a clinic. But whether the clinic is running, whether the clinic is providing service to the society, we don't. The problem with the on-campus clinics is it is not accessible. People cannot access it. Off-campus clinic, very advantageous, but difficult to start with. First problem is identifying the venue. Because when you identify a venue, the venue should be accessible. So it should run from institutions like panchayat, municipalities, schools, temples, church, courts, clubs, NGOs. And second requirement is, as far as my college is concerned, we don't pay for the venue. It should be free of cost, because what I feel is, definitely Vivek will share this slide, because what I feel is that when we serve a particular village, they should also contribute towards the service. It should not be like one-way traffic. So it should be two-way traffic. We help you, you help us. So till date, we are not paid for our venue. We never pay for our venue. And we work from panchayats, we work from schools. There was an incident in Goa. One child in a school was raped. So therefore, the laws got changed. So we could not function from the schools. And around 8 legal aid cells faced problem. So they came to us. They said, sir, now they are not allowing us to function from the schools because they feel that the students are under threat. So now what to do? So I said, then change the venue, find somewhere else. By the time one student said that, sir, I'll make a representation to the education department and let's see what they respond. So they all went, they made a representation and they created an exception to the rule, and they continue to function in the schools. Even now, we have some legal aid cells function from the schools. So that's, see, enterprising students, if you want to see, give them a free hand. I am not asking you to come here and see the enterprising students. Your students are also enterprising. Give them a free hand. Don't spoon feed them. They will find the way out. One thing is, say, legal aid, Akash, I'll say that legal aid is not a legal entity. It's an activity where you provide help to someone else. You don't have your own seal, you don't have your own stamp. You are not registered with any authority. You are an educational institution recognized by Bar Council of India, recognized by an university, and you run a legal aid activity. That's it. If they ask you, what is your status? I am from the law college. But you call yourself as a legal aid society. Yes, it's a society of the college, but it is not recognized, not registered. We are not registered our legal aid society. But as far as our college is registered, it's under a trust. So therefore, it's a legal entity. And through college only, we run the things. So this is how off-campus can be established. Now I will take you through my attitude. So we are nearing the mid-session exercise. So keep your pen and paper ready. How legal aid sustained in VMACL, the VM Salgaocar College of Law. So this is how we sustained. So climatology of my college goes like this. If your college resembles this, then you can definitely exercise or you can definitely replicate it. First, all my students come from the locality. We don't have a hostel, and we do get students from Delhi. We do get students from Kerala. but at the same time, who 95% of the students are from Goa, from the different locality. Our students speak local language. So therefore, the trust factor between the society and the student is easily managed. In my state, local bodies and the state is very responsive. So when we go and ask for some help from the local bodies, they respond positively. Responsive local community. When we go and tell that there is a kind of a legal aid is available, you can avail the benefit, they come forward and avail the benefit. When I say responsive local bodies, the responsive local community, I mean to say that 51% of them are responsive. 49 are still reclusive. They don't expect, they want us to disturb them. Semi-urban and rural areas. This is another major advantage of Goa. Goa is a big, one large town, comprising of different panchayats. We have only 2 corporations and maybe 3 municipalities in whole of state. Rest all are panchayats. So it is semi-urban and rural, and therefore we function in urban, semi-urban, and rural, all 3 areas. And every yeah, how to achieve. Yes, I'll come to that. So society has a faith in state mechanism is another very important point, because in my state, if any violation happens, they report to police. They don't take things into their own hands. Cooperation from lawyers and NGOs, that's the greatest advantage, because my legal aid is running from last 25 years. And the first batch which went through this legal aid activities are now already high court judges, and some of them are into commissioners and others. They know. So now if you go and ask for some help, they recollect what they did as a student and they readily help us. So now things have become much easier, because all our alumni are getting into good positions and they are having a first-hand experience of legal aid. And once we started it, how we sustained it. Now, first one is we started getting recognitions nationally and internationally. We started winning awards, and really awards work as a steroid, and they put us into put more efforts. Innovative in charges, the teachers, we keep changing, and once the in charge changes, the style of functioning of the legal aid changes. Changing role of teachers. 1 year we act as an inspectors. We find faults, we scold, we warn them, we take action against them, we punish them. And immediately the next year we become motivators. If you find a fault, we tell them this is not the way to do, how to do. So it's a mixture of carrot and stick system, where we keep changing the roles, and the moment we change our roles, the response from the students changes. Inventing options, very innovation way of and most important is flexibility in functioning. So when I say flexibility in functioning, I said we function in urban, semi-urban, and rural. So urban requirements, challenges are different, and rural requirements and challenges are different. So therefore, we don't run a legal aid society which is centralized. It is completely decentralized system. Motivated students get motivated for different aspects. Some gets motivated because of marks. Some gets motivated because friends are there in the same legal aid cell. Some gets motivated because of service motive. But as long as they are motivated, we are very happy to handle those students. Building competitiveness. Now, this is one thing we have done successfully. We build a competition between legal aid cells. So we come out with a small newsletter showcasing the achievements of each legal aid cell. Now we are encouraging the legal aid cells to start their own Instagram page. So there they put the photographs and other things. The moment Madrem legal aid cell does that, the Margao legal aid cell gets upset. They said that we will do better than that. And they put better photographs. They make reels. So that's how we are building competitiveness among the legal aid cells. And that actually helps us in providing better service to the society. Now, let us look into the mid-session exercise. I think I'm reaching the fag end of my lecture, but according to my scheme, now we reach actually the middle of the session. Now, there are 7 elements of legal aid. Anyway, I'm sharing this slide with you, but you can note down these 7 things. Legal representation is one, where we appear as a lawyer, represent other clients. Legal awareness, we go and give speech. Legal advice, when the client comes, listen to the problem and advise. Paralegal service, where we provide them competitiveness, whether it defeats the purpose of legal aid. Now see, competitiveness when it comes to the same locality. Now let us say 2 people competing for a bread. Definitely that leads to the splitting of the bread. But what I'm saying here is when there is a competitiveness of 2 geographical areas. I am functioning in Goa and Kalpesh is functioning in Gujarat, and we compete with each other. So this competition has got nothing to do with each other until unless you show a better purpose or better performance. So therefore, purpose of the legal aid will not be defeated with that. Public interest litigation, yes, healthy competition. In simple way of putting up here is healthy competition. Yes, but actually, cooperation is always better than competition when it comes to such work. This competitiveness, what I have mentioned here, is about doing better than the other. And cooperation also works. I'll show you how we cooperate also. There is a slide for that also. So why I'm showing here is there are 7 elements of legal aid. Now, what you have to do here is 1. Can you identify climatology of your institution? I had mentioned about my climatology, climatic condition in my institution. Whether it is similar in your institution, if it is different, then you have to do it differently. So I'm not saying that if climate conditions are different, that means you cannot do. Yes, it's different. So therefore now, if it is different, then how you are going to modify legal aid activity in your institution? So when you say law reform means when you look into the existing law and you feel that this law is not providing a proper solution, justice to the society, we need to change the law. See, for example, at presently, there are Romeo-Juliet cases are going on. Now, Romeo-Juliet cases means a teenage girl, a girl below 18 years of age, elopes with a boy, runs away with a boy of 20 years old. And as per the law, it's a rape. As per the law, this person should be punished. But now there are litigation going on in the Supreme Court saying that this is too harsh for that because it's basically a Romeo-Juliet matter and parents are not agreeing to it and they're painting it as a rape. They need not paint it. Law itself has painted it as a rape. So therefore, there should be a change in the law. So when we look into a problem and ask for the change, that's called as a law reform. And the law reform, to bring in law reform, we need to do a lot of research. The paralegal services means providing documentation. Like, say, for example, someone is looking for a senior citizen card. Now, filling the form, doing the process with the department is a paralegal service where you provide help to the needy person in a documentation process, availing the schemes, in getting affidavit drafted, affidavit filed. All these are called as paralegal services. So many of you have said that your climatic conditions in your institution is different. So what can be done? Yes, what can be done? So first thing, you cannot go to community and expect the community to accept you. It's a reality, we must accept it. Now, under those circumstances, what can be done? So we will cut off some of the elements of legal aid and we concentrate what is possible for us. So first, we will cut off the legal representation, legal advice, because I don't think anybody will come and they have faith in us because of the various reasons. But definitely we can do public interest litigation. Definitely we can do law reform. We can work on that. And most importantly, we can promote the law reforms by implementing projects. See, now at presently we are running a project in our college called POSH project, the Prevention of Sexual Harassment at Workplace project, where we are the nodal agency which is training all the internal complaints committee all over Goa to how to conduct the proceedings if they receive a complaint. And how we got this project, how we are doing it is only because we worked on the law reform and the government found the potential in my college and they gave us a project. And their funding, each sessions is being funded by the state. So therefore, okay, what students are learning in this? It's a project for the teacher. What students are learning in this? What students are learning in this is that every project is implemented by them. Sessions are taken by the teachers, but the whole aspects are taken. Now see, the job of the institution is imparting education. And that we cannot ignore. We have to stick to that. So therefore, when we educate or when we do legal aid, we must do legal aid for the benefit of the students. Society is getting benefited is a collateral benefit, but our primary benefit is a benefit to the student. So therefore, a legal aid done by, okay, technologically also we can always help the legal aid. Definitely. And that comes under legal awareness. Technology can be used for providing legal awareness. There are many reels that are available already. And even I have my own YouTube channel where I give lectures on discussions on consumer rights and various other laws. So therefore, what I'm trying to tell here is taking someone else outside the institution, asking him to run the legal aid, is you are doing direct legal aid for the benefit of the society. But where is the benefit of the students and the institution? And that's not the right way of doing it when you are an educational institution. That's what my submission is. I feel when you do legal aid, benefit to the society is a collateral benefit, but the primary benefit is to the students. So in the climatology is different, doesn't mean you cannot do legal aid. You do legal aid, but you have your own. Yes, definitely, Aparna. Kalpesh can also help you out in that. Kalpesh, they're asking for my link of my channel. What are the challenges faced by your institution? Now, we have to look into the opportunities and the challenges of your institution. That is what you need to check. See, this is kind of a self-study report. That's what I was telling you. If you do the self-study and write to me, myself, Kalpesh, and you, we three can too much of political interference. Yeah. It's there everywhere. It's there everywhere. Now, how are you going to handle the political interference? You can handle the political interference by conveying that now see, every communication barrier is a major barrier. That is very difficult to cross over. So therefore, you don't indulge with the society, but you bring the changes in the law where the society becomes an ultimate beneficiary. So that's where we have to work on the law reforms. So political interference, yes, we can handle this political interference provided our head of the institution is a strong person, and this person is going to absorb all the pressures from the political thing, and we are left immune from that. And that's what happens in my college. In my college, we don't deal with any government officers. It's always the principal's headache. So he stands between us and the politics. He stands between us and management. So nobody comes and touches us. And he absorbs all the pressure. He got the BP, diabetes, everything he has, and teachers don't have any of those. So we should thank my principal for that. So that is, and then which opportunity cannot be implemented. I think we made a list of these things, and this is an exercise. Please do this exercise and be in touch with Kalpesh and be in touch with me. We can work out, we can plan and execute the plan in your institution, how a legal aid can be implemented. See, when we started with our legal aid, and again, please remember, again, my friend Dundap has mentioned here, we are not a state. So therefore, our legal aid, state legal aid, there's a big difference. Our legal aid is anybody who is in need of help. We don't look into his economic status. We don't look into his social status. He may be rich fellow. See, legal aid, who needs legal aid? The one who cannot afford financially and the one who cannot afford by time, who cannot go and stand in the queue and do it by himself because he's too busy. Why can't we help him? Is it a sin to help that person? No, we can help that person also. And our main purpose is giving a practical orientation to the student. So that's what I keep telling. Our job is to educate our student. When a society benefit is a collateral benefit. So this is the vision with which we started our legal aid. You can read through it. I will take you to some success stories and wind up my discussion. Few success stories. I was mentioning about the library that we started. This is the project, library to improve village education. The scheme said that Panchayat should keep aside 100 square feet room. If they keep it, then they can release the fund. This is Amona Village Panchayat Library, which was already existing, but no books were added from last 10 years. So we got books from the central library and donated it to that. This is a village panchayat of Pale Kotambi, and this village, the students went and the sarpanch gave a signature and he said that they are going to designate one room for the panchayat, and they got the panchayat. This is the cell members before another panchayat. I think they forgot to make the mention of this. You can see the sarpanch, Surla. I can read the nameplate, Surla Panchayat, and these three students went there. Again, please remember, this is the boy who did all the research and work, and his name is Naik, and he belongs to Saklim Legal Aid Cell. This is a legal aid cell, a neighboring legal aid cell. There is Bicholim Legal Aid Cell, and they passed on the information and they implemented it. This is another legal aid cell. So they went and met another legal panchayat and got it approved. This is, then we felt that starting the legal aid is not enough, because now the 21st century, the kind of the learning process itself has changed. So we went to state. The state said that this is the scheme. Under the scheme, we provide money, and from the money you can buy books only. So that's why the same student went to CS the companies that were working nearby. Under CSR, we asked for a computer, internet connection, and printer, and the factory in the locality readily agreed, and they provided second-hand computer, which I refused. I rejected. Students were very upset with that. They said, "Sir, at least we are getting something. We'll start it." I said, "No, let them give fresh brand new computer, brand new printer, internet connectivity. And Panchayat agreed to bear the cost of the connectivity because monthly they have to pay. That is taken care by the Panchayat, and initial investment was done by the factory established in that Amona village. So we made a library which is again address the 21st century education. This is another success story where we did a survey of sexual harassment, and this is done by Wasco, Free Legal Aid Cell, and they went around the schools and conducted the survey, and they found out that there are incidents. And when we did this survey, we also invited by children's court judge, and she said that I make sure that I will not convict another boy under Romeo Juliet case in Goa. So we went to every school and told them the risk of eloping when they are below 18 years of age. Child labor abolition in coastal villages. This is another experiment which worked very well. Here what happened is one student came and he said, sir, we don't want any child labor to be employed in the shacks on the beach. And this is the Mandrem village. So then I said, what to do? Then we tried to find a way out, and then suddenly the student came and he said, sir, we have Gram Sabha in that village going on, and I will insert a question in the Gram Sabha. Then he inserted a question through, he went to secretary, wrote a question and inserted it. And by the time we drafted the resolution, and the question came up, and he asked a question in the Gram Sabha that why children are employed in the shacks falling within this village panchayat. Then the Sarpanch said, I am not aware about it. He said, whether you are aware or not, but let us prohibit it. If it is not there, well and good. If it is there, it should be stopped. So he produced the resolution to the panchayat members. So they agreed. So Gram Sabha passed a resolution saying that they should first no employing children. Second, they should put a poster outside the shack, no children employed here. So there is no child labor working in my shack. So that has to be written and put up. We gave the wordings also. So Gram Sabha passed. So student made 60 copies of it because there were 60 shacks working that Mandrem village area, and they went to each shack and handed over the paper, the resolution copy, and they just took it and kept it. No improvement, nothing happened. The students came, they said, sir, nothing is happening. I said, take the resolution, approach the child commission. So they went to child commission. The child commission, they presented the resolution. They said, sir, we passed a resolution. Gram Sabha has approved it, but it is not being implemented. We tried to implement, they are not responding. So commission said, we will depute one member and we will depute 2 police. Go and see to it, it is implemented. So the next time, 2 students with the child commission member and 2 police. Now you should see the difference in the response from the shack owners. And one shack owner requested, he said, mine is a 5-star shack. I don't want to paste what you are given. I will design my own, but all words what you are given, it will be put up. And his is the most beautiful poster he had made because he has to live up to his 5-star level. So he made his own design and other thing, but we did it. The most important thing is students did it, and students are very proud of their work. And again, I'll tell you, because of this work, the child commission member was so impressed with the work of the students. She took the students to a national conference and made them to present their work to the gathering. And the students were shocked. They said, sir, we never been out of our village. Then they prepared PowerPoint and I gave them how to go about it and other thing. And then finally, when they presented, one question was asked is why no teachers are involved. Then the students could not answer that question, but the member stood up and said that teachers are more interested in working at the backdrop, behind the scene, rather than the front of. And even today, it's the students run show. We don't involve in that any of this. This is another work which is done, advertisement of products for children consumption. This is again a very big successful work, because we found that uh, enticing a child with a chocolate or a mask and buy a biscuit packet. I felt that children want mask, not the biscuit. And this advertisement is wrong. See, you should buy a biscuit if you want a biscuit. They are not, and whenever you advertise, you should advertise and target the parent, not the child. So this argument, when we went and argued it, wrote it to the authority. There was no authority at that time. The 2018 Consumer Protection Act was not passed at that time. So therefore, there were no authority. And we wrote to the self-regulating bodies of advertising agencies. There were 3 bodies were there. We wrote to them, and they responded saying that we'll look into the matter. So then I said, they are self-regulating bodies. They are not legal bodies. So therefore, we cannot rely on them. So what we did is we called a press conference, released all our work to the press conference, and it got published in the newspapers. Students' photograph also got published. And with that, they started acting, because public opinion started building against the advertising process. And luckily, the moment we took up proceedings, and state also intervened. But it's not because of us. We should not take credit for that. It's like that we both started thinking simultaneously, and now most of the advertisements are targeting the parents and not the children. These are the few offshoot stories where the benefits which teachers got because of the students' work. Our one professor, Kim Kuto, traveled to Australia because she was in charge of child rights clinic. Professor Prasad went to Fulbright. He became a Fulbright scholar because of legal aid activities, because he was given higher studies option in USA. He became prison committee reform committee member, and he was the main person who drafted the prison manual in Goa. He became member of the State Commission for Child also. Then Professor Kim is also a member of a committee which classify heinous offences under JJ Act. Shabir Ali is a member of Biodiversity Board. Myself, a member of CARA, Union of India, Central Government Union of India. I am an advisory member for CARA. I am an advisory member for Think Tank of Disability Rights. I am also a chief consultant from Vaya Vikas. There is an NGO, a social enterprise in Bangalore. I am a member of State Legal Service Authority. And also, as I mentioned, we are implementing POSH project also. All this is because of work of our students in the legal aid. These are the few pictures, old pictures of our legal aid. So these are the legal awareness, legal literacy programs, street plays that we have played, and we tried to communicate the rights of women, because this program was sponsored by the UNO, United Nations organizations. Then we had a poster making competition, community empowerment programs. Thank you very much for your listening. And this is again, I'm asking the same question at the end of the session, that what is the purpose of education? Is it same? If it is same, how you're going to do it? Think over it. Does legal aid has a place in education? Yes, legal aid has a place. And purpose of the education in the 21st century is skill based. Try to do that. Thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much for sharing your experiences, sir. The exercises were really engaging, and your initiatives at Salgaocar Law College has inspired us all. I'm sure the session was really informative to all the participants. Now, now we proceed to the Q&A session. I would ask the participants to drop in their questions or raise their hands for your questions.
There were few questions in the chat box, so that also we can look into.
Okay, participant, you can raise your hand. We will unmute you, or you can put a question in the chat box. Please be brief, because people are thanking sir. So we'll be missing that.
Yeah, because
Uh,
these questions are passing very fast. I cannot
yeah.
open the.
Yes, definitely, sir. One of the remark is that legal aid is not a legal education. So what's your take on this?
Yeah,
There's a statement.
but it ends with a question mark. See, Divanshi Gautam is asking about managing the time between the two. I think that is here what I feel is uh, the head of the institution should be more dynamic. See, when I was the legal aid societies in charge, I was given 2 lectures off because it's very difficult to. How do you define legal aid? Yeah, that's also I'll come to that. So therefore, managing time between academics and the legal aid, yes, it's difficult, but it's not impossible. So therefore, if you are a standalone institution, then it is much easier. Like the Ranchi institution, which is organizing this program, because it's a standalone institution. It is making its own rules. They can very well do it. But I belong to an affiliated college. I belong to Goa University. So here what happens, we rely upon my head of the institution. So he works out and he explains the lesson workload given to the teacher. All the explanation is done by him. So we require some dynamic leader to do this. Because if you want to bring a change, there will be a lot of challenges. We have to overcome that one by one. And legal education is not a legal aid, I agree, because legal aid is the state's job. Legal education is our educational institution's job. But why we should involve in legal aid is because it's a type of legal education that can be provided when it's a very effective way of educating a student.
Okay, sir. There is a question from Kumar Roshan. Can
Hmm.
making people aware of the potential danger to environment if a particular lake is being continuously polluted by the people living in the locality, which is inhabited with various species of birds, be considered as a legal aid?
Now say again that's where again we have a lot of confusion in this. Some students conduct eye camp and call it as legal aid. I said how eye camp is a legal aid. Eye camp is a medical aid. So therefore, uh, I agree with the question. If you are talking about environmental awareness and other thing, it becomes environmental studies, not environmental law. But at the same time, if you invoke an authority, biodiversity authority or some authority, make a representation to him and ask the authority to take action, what you are doing is you are doing a legal aid. Because see, as an NSS, I can go and pick up the plastic thrown on the beach. But if I make a representation to the municipality and make the municipality to pick up it, it's legal aid. So you have to keep that in mind. Legal aid is pushing the state to do its job.
Yes, thank you very much. And even sir, blood donation also, and then a lot of things again under the banner of legal service committee happens. Again, no problem. Yes, sir, we can
No,
have a last. Yes, sir. So
so we cannot consider blood donation as a legal aid. But if you are establishing a blood bank by referring to the laws relating to establishing a blood bank and other things. And if you provide all the licensing for establishing blood bank, then it becomes legal.
Definitely, sir. This last question, because we are running short of time, from Subhankar. How can a practicing lawyer contribute a legal aid clinic work at the grassroots level? And what avenues or organization exist for legal professional to engage in pro bono aimed at assisting an underserved community?
See, what I feel is, as a practicing lawyer, I think we need a practicing lawyer to provide legal aid. Because whenever I was saying that when the student comes with a legal problem, I give advice. I gained confidence to give advice only after 15 years of teaching. Before that, I never had a confidence because mine was a bookish knowledge and the problems are real practical problems. And here the practicing lawyers can be a gold for us because a practicing lawyer can solve this in a minute, which a teacher will take one day because he has to read, find out, call for fellows and find the answer for that. So therefore, practicing lawyers can definitely provide legal aid if they associate with an institution. And I think there's somebody saying it doesn't solve purpose. Can you just elaborate that?
Srilu. Srilu, can
Now, see, I here one more question I read about how do you create a trust factor among the students in the rural population. See, the best method of creating a trust factor in the rural population is showing the results. See, what we did when we went and asked to come to us with legal problems, nobody came. So what we did, we went to house and find out that how many senior citizens are there in the village. And we started making senior citizen cards. As we went and handed our citizen card to house after completing the process, they saw the result of our effort. See, you should provide visible results. So somebody was mentioning about routine legal aid and special legal aid. Routine legal aid is the best legal aid. Please remember. See, we should never try to do fantastic work. Do work regularly and sincere. Result becomes fantastic. So never ever try to provide a legal aid to in a murder case, but provide a legal aid in a road accident case. Because number is more. When the numbers are more, you create a more impression in the society. So building trust in the rural population is by showing the result. Pick up something, show the result. So let us say there is a rural population and they don't have a bus. Make a representation in the road transport department and get a bus. The students, the population will feel that you can show the result, you can bring the results.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Sorry, participant, we won't be able to take more question because running short of time. Already we exceeded time. So I request Harsh, over to you.
And I will share my slides with Professor Kalpesh, and
Yes,
he will share with you.
sure.
Thank you so much for addressing all the queries of the participants, sir. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Shweta Mohan, the faculty co-convener for Center for Legal Aid Program, to deliver the vote of thanks.
A very good afternoon, good evening to all of you. Thank you so much, Dr. Patil, for being with us today and sharing with your valuable insight with us. The participants are truly blessed because they have gained wonderful knowledge, and the entire session, the interactive session, showed that how into the course. Thank you once again, sir, for your valuable insight. I would also like to thank Dr. Ashok R. Patil, Honorable Vice Chancellor, NUSRL guest. My sincere thanks to Dr. Kalpesh, founder Pro Bono India, for giving a platform to impart such a uh, uh, legal aid program at a great level. Lastly, I would also like to thank the organizing team, convener of Center for Legal Aid, the student convener and co-convener, and Pooja Lakshmi, especially the student convener of Pro Bono India, technical team which has been working such a hard since last one month to make. Thank you.
Thank you.
I
Thank you
have
very
shared
much.
my email as well as my phone number.
Sure, sure, sure.
Yes.
So thank you very much, sir, for opening our evening this fourth edition. Yeah, thank you very much. I look forward to see you, sir.
Yes. Thank you very much. Huh? See you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone for joining. With this, we conclude today's session. I hope to see you all again tomorrow. Thank you.